it's going through a bit of a wild time now because we've got the Olympics. I don't know if you heard, like we've got the Olympics coming in 2032. They're going to come to Brisbane and Sunny Coast and Gold Coast, so we're going to have all like these famous athletes going to this part of town, this our part of the world. And I've lived my whole life in SEQ. I started up in Ipswich. You know, I grew up in Ipswich until I was 18, and then I moved away to the Sunny Coast. And you know, like they say, you don't appreciate where you live or a place until you move away. And in saying that, like, fuck, I miss the Sunny Coast. Oh, like it was so good living up there. You know, I'm happy to be back in Ipswich, but it's, you know, it's no Sunny Coast. I was at the beach every day. Yeah, Ipswich is alright. I'm at jiu-jitsu every day now. It's another addiction. You know, you just get addicted to different things in your environment. You know, so you can change when you go to a new place. But yeah, I'll come back. So I was living in the Sunny Coast, and then I'll come back to Ipswich when on the weekends, and I'll play cricket at Limestone Park for the Central District Kookaburras. And so what I do is I get on Tinder because we're talking about love. So let's talk about love. And I think in my generation, the closest thing we had to love was Tinder. It was great as that. And what I do is I had Tinder Gold, so I could change my location on the app. So what I do is during the week when I was staying in the Sunny Coast and working, I'd change my location to Ipswich. And so you try and line up dates for the weekend. And then when you're in Ipswich on the weekend, you change your location to the Sunny Coast, and you try and line up dates during the week. It was fun. Like, it's a great app. And so Tinder Gold, you know, it's like $150 a year. It's a pretty good investment, if you ask me. But yeah, I actually met my future wife on Tinder. And this was actually our first hotel we came to as a date. We were drinking just out the back there. I was smoking away on the days. You know, we were sipping on our cocktail jugs, our fruit tingles. And they used to serve here, they used to serve mother in a motherfucking big jug. And what you drink is it was mother and vodka in a fucking big jug. And so you'd be out there with like I was hopped up on caffeine, drinking vodka, just like getting smashed. Like it wrecks you. And then we walk across to Macca's across the road, next to Bunny's there. We get like 40 nuggets, you know, like eat after you have a big drinking session. And then we just lived over in Bundamba, you know, like a kilometre away. So sometimes we'd walk, sometimes just get a cheap Uber. And then I moved away to Bundaberg, and living in Bundaberg, obviously I developed a drinking habit. It's the home of Queensland rum. Like, oh man, and we were a away trip, so what I do is I'd be away for 2 weeks at a time. I'd only see my missus every second weekend, so we're doing long distance. And then it just changes the relationship when you're not seeing them every day, you don't deal with them every day. And so I was up in Bundaberg, I was just like drinking every day, you know, like going out to the pub all the time because we were working hard. It was hard labour, but we got the project done. And you know, then I moved back to Gympie. And Gympie, oh my god, like it sounds like the people that live in Gympie, they fucking sound like, you know, it sounds like you can tell they're fucking, it's Gympie. Mate, I was making homebrew. I was making 7 litres of homebrew every 14 days. I was drinking half a bottle of fucking homebrew every night. I got addicted to alcohol, and like I was addicted to smoking when I was 14, you know, I was getting expelled and shit. Like I'm a pure addict. And like I just, like love and addictions are really closely tied together. I feel like, you know, because addictions you get like dopamine hits. And I feel like you also get that out of love from a partner. You know, you love them and they give you this dopamine. It's like with your dog. You know, you scratch your dog's head and they look you in the eyes, you're both like releasing dopamine. It's like the best like special moment you'll ever have, like just rubbing a dog's head. I love a dog. It's great. If you don't have a dog, get a dog. But yeah, so then I moved to Bundamba, like I said, and then I decided to try and figure out like who I was because I was living in Bundamba when the COVID lockdown took on. And so I'm like, alright, how am I going to fucking figure out who I am? And so I was listening to Joe Rogan every single day. I was listening to the Joe Rogan podcast, and I'm like, alright, I'm going to start jiu-jitsu. So I started jiu-jitsu, and I like, changed my physical health. And I'm like, alright, I'm going to do drugs. I'm going to be a bad boy. want to be a bad boy and do some drugs. Because I grew up religious. I grew up more religious than probably most of you. It was my second day. The first day we moved house when I was 13. It was the first day we moved in. My dad chopped down the antenna so we couldn't watch TV. He thought it was, you know, we couldn't watch TV. It was bad. So we were a bit more religious than you could realise. So I decided to do some drugs and rebel. So I did some psychedelics. I did magic mushrooms. And now, I don't know if you know this, but it broke in the news recently. Queensland is the first state to be legalising magic mushrooms for prescription. And so psychiatrists can now prescribe magic mushrooms or psilocybin to people with treatment-resistant depression. And I feel like this is going to work a lot better because it's something that they're doing in Switzerland, which is the complete opposite. What they're doing in Switzerland is now, today, they released that if you are mentally ill, you have just as much a right to euthanasia as someone who's physically ill. So people can now, if you decide you're depressed and you want to kill yourself, the government in Switzerland will allow you to do that. And I feel like at least in Queensland, we're just letting people trip balls. That's it, thanks guys.